It was never been easier to create API in .NET. Using minimal APIs first introduced in .NET 6, with 4 lines of code, you can create an API project. Let me show you in this video. So I have here an empty solution. I'm gonna create my own project now. You can use Rider, Visual Studio, VS Code, anything, or you can use the terminal using the .NET CLI to create the project. So let's do that using the terminal. Before moving forward, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and think about subscribing to my mailing list. It's in the description. So to create a project in .NET using the CLI, you type .NET new web. The web, if we do the help, web is an empty ASP.NET Core template. If you want, you can check my video about how to create your own .NET template up there somewhere. So let's create a new project, .NET new web. That will create a new project, ASP.NET Core empty project, and let me add it to the solution. Now, if we go to Rider, we can see it in the projects list here. Same thing you can do from here, add new project, and you select web, type empty, same thing. So let's navigate. Let's see our project structure. We have first the program.cs file. This is our entry point. This is the class that when we run our project, it will be executed. And you notice here, it is 4 lines of code. The first line is to create a builder, create a web builder in order to configure our application. Here we are not going to do any configuration, but later when you need to register something in the dependency injection container, you will do it from here. Then we build our application, and then this is our first API, app.mapGet. So we are doing a get API, and then the last line, we are running our application. Now, if we run the application, we can see we are going to the root, localhost, the root, we are getting hello world. So this is our first API. Let's talk about map.get. What is this? Let me zoom in a bit. Yep. So what we are seeing here, app, which is our web application, we are calling a map.get a method, and we are passing, the first thing you notice here is the pattern. This is the route pattern where you can specify any type of things, and depending on the URL you are specifying in the browser here, you are going to match this method and you are going to execute this delegate method here, this delegate function that is returning a string hello world. So if we need to create another one, let me stop. So app.mapGet, I can do something like this. Greeting. Hello. Let's run. And now, if we go to greeting, I'm gonna see hello. So I can return string and I can have some routes, some patterns. But what if I need to get something from the user using that API? So I have an API that is returning a string. So what if I need to get some parameter? So let's say I need to have a greeting with a name. So you can specify a route parameter, name, and here inside the delegate handler, notice here Rider is showing me the name of the parameter, which is very helpful. So the handler here, I can specify string name. Let me stop, and then hello, I can say the name. Make sure, put a $sign here. And now, if we run the program, we can call the greeting by name. So greeting, hello Muhammad. Okay, so we were able to get a parameter from the URL, from the route, and use it in our handler, in our method, on our API. So what other things that I can pass? So name is a string. Can I pass something else? I can. Let's say I need to pass an integer. So age as int. So I can specify the type of that parameter, which is int. I can specify it is quid, it is string, it is any other type. Like you can't specify it as string because it is by default string. So let's say int, and then in your handler, you put int age. And then we can do hello, name, you are age years old. Let's run. So greeting, Muhammad, 15. Well, I'm not 15, basically. So hello, Muhammad, you are 15 years old. Okay? So we can pass multiple parameter inside our endpoint. So what if I need to have a parameter, but it is not part of the route? Like same as here, but I need to return something else. Well, I can. By specifying it here in the handler, string title, and we can specify it here. Now, if we run the program, calling the method greeting, get an exception because string title was not defined because it is not nullable. So string title here, it's expecting a value. So let's make it nullable. Now, if we refresh, we got hello, Muhammad, you are 15 years old. But if we need to pass by the new parameter, the nullable title here, we can do it like this. I'm not sure if you are seeing it, but it's question mark title equal Mr. And then we got it. Okay, so you can pass by query strings title like this using the question mark here. If you need to have multiple query strings, you put the first one is the question mark and then you'd put the end character here. So title equal Mr. and let's say active equal true, something else. Okay, going back here. So nice. We got how to create a pattern and how to return and use properties, but we are returning a string. What if I need to return something else? What if I need to return an object, an array, a JSON? So we can first return a anonymous type. So let's say here, new, like this, and let's say message equals to this one. So this is a new anonymous type of type that has contained a message as a string, and this is the message. Let's run. Now if we refresh, oh, nice. Now we are in business. We have a JSON file. Message equal, hello, Mr. Muhammad, you are 15 years old. Nice. But this is an anonymous type. What if I need it to be a structured object, like a class? I can create a class. You can create a class in a separate file, but I'm going to add a class at the end of the file here. So class person. A person has a name. Let's create a property, string name, int age. It has a title, which is nullable string, and whatever else that you need to add. Okay, now we can create a new person. We don't have message. Let's remove that. And we have name equal to name, age equal to age, title equal to title. Okay, now because it is a class, notice when we run it, well, we are not gonna get message equal to hello something, but we are going to get a structured object person in that case with name, age, title, depending on what we are sending here. So if we remove the query string, we are getting a null for title. Okay? And the beauty of class, you can have your own functionality here, and it will be reflected when you return it. Like if I have a property called full name, let's say, that is a calculated field between title, it's a string. Now if we run, let's refresh. So full name is Muhammad, and if we display title, we get that predefined message here, the computed string that we created here. Nice. So this is a string. This is a class. We can get a class, and we can also get an array of class. So let's create a list of person. So we can have a list of persons or an array. It can be an array or list. It's fine. So we have 2 persons, and let's create here another endpoint. So map get persons, and in the delegate, in the handler, the delegate, we can return person. Now if we run, go here, person, we are getting an array. Notice here, it's an array of JSON, 2 different persons. But what if we need to add another person? Like we need to post some data to the API so we can save it. Let's say we need to save it in the database. And to do that, you can use, app.mapPost, where same thing, you specify the pattern, and in your handler, you can specify the object that you are receiving. So let's say it's person P. So let's add this person to the list. Because it's a list, we can add it quickly. Persons.add P. And then let's say we need to return something. What we can return? We can use the results class here to return an OK result. Or maybe because it's post and we are creating a person, we can do some created. If we need to test that, you can't do it in the browser anymore because we are doing a post and the browser is doing get. So we can open Postman. Here we set it as post, and here we can specify persons. Let me take a person JSON from here, put row as JSON. So Muhammad 35, like this. And when you send it, we are receiving 201 created, which is the same result that we returned here. And since it is post, now if we call another one, which is HTTP get persons, we are going to get the list because it is a static list in the code that we are using now, and now we have it in our object. Okay, pretty cool. There are plenty of things that you can do in Minimal API. This is only like a brief introduction on how to get started with APIs. You can later on inject more things like connect to a database and start manipulating the data. Let me know in the comment below. What are your thoughts about Minimal APIs? Are you using it in your projects or not? And make sure to check my other videos here, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.